What's up, guys? Several people have hit me up, slid into my DM, commented on my videos about nutrition. Bill, what is the biggest thing I need to do nutrition-wise to be on that gain train for 2018? Well, my friends, here is your answer. Shout out to Jesse James Fitness, my man Calvin88, and Robert Thurman for hitting me up and asking me these questions. Well, here are your answers. Let's keep nutrition fairly simple. Guys, I'm sure you've probably heard your body is made in the kitchen, or you can't out-train a bad diet. Yes, these are all cliche things people say, but they're also true. The most important factor in getting an optimal physique, in my mind, is nutrition. So they're right, you can't out-train a bad diet, and your abs are certainly made in the kitchen. Better get eating right. The summer is only 6 months away. You want to look good on the Jersey Shore, don't you? Just saying. But guys, let's keep nutrition simple. There are 3 macronutrients that you need to be concerned with. Number 1, and my favorite, protein. Guys, I'm sure you've all heard of protein. Protein, when broken down in the digestive system, turns into amino acids. Those amino acids, let's go back to 10th grade biology, those amino acids are the foundational building blocks of muscle. A lot of amino acids in there. Oh yeah. Maybe a little more over there. I'm not one to judge. But guys, protein is essential to muscle building. So you're going to want to make sure you get ample protein. One of the recommendations that is pretty common is 1 gram of protein per lean pound of body mass. What does that mean? If you're 200 pounds and you have 170 pounds of lean muscle or lean mass, then you need 170 grams of protein a day. I don't really measure out my protein or any macronutrient for that matter. I have a pretty good grasp on it. But as you get more familiar with what nutrition actually is and what it means, then you'll be able to gauge it, find out if you want to measure your food, if you want to follow an equation. But I definitely recommend testing things out. Remember, X equals 1. You are your own experiment. I've learned all this through experience. I've learned what my body responds well to and what my body doesn't respond well to. Before I digress and go too far down that rabbit hole, let's talk about the second macronutrient, which is carbohydrates. So carbohydrates, they are the source of energy. Most likely, people know carbohydrates as evil if you're on the keto train or paleo train or low carbs train. But I don't want to say they're evil. They're a tool like any other food macronutrient. Now, there are much better sources than Wonder Bread. So let's talk about some good sources of carbohydrates. One of my favorite is sweet potatoes, or any potatoes for that matter. You got your brown rice, you got white rice even. All fruit and vegetables are actually carbohydrates. And carbohydrates are great because they help with recovery and performance. Like I said, they're a quick energy source for your muscles. So post-workout is when I ingest most of my carbohydrates. Third macronutrient is known as fat. Did he say fat like my stomach fat? He did say fat. And good sources of fat include olive oil, coconut oil, ghee or clarified butter. These help fuel the body as well. So those are the 3 macronutrients. It's important to know that. It's important to get those each and every meal. Now, depending on your goals and what you're trying to do with your physique, with your performance, will determine the ratio of macronutrients that you intake. Without getting too boring or scientific, talking about insulin, glycogen, all this other stuff that you may not be concerned with, I'm just going to tell you the best sources of each. Let's talk about protein. It's important that you take in clean protein. I know you can take in Waybolic 9000, the most premier mass gainer in all the land, but it likely has a ton of preservatives. It likely has some Red 457 and some xanthan gum. I don't know what that stuff is, but it can't be good. I prefer all my food, all my supplementation from whole food sources. What does that mean? So for protein, I like to keep it mean and clean. So I'll use grass-fed beef, I'll eat grass-fed steaks, I will enjoy a free-range chicken here and there, pluck it right off the farm. I'll enjoy that free-range chicken's cage-free eggs. I'll even go out to Alaska and grab some wild-caught salmon. Thank you, Brett Bucktooth. He's my fish guy. He's probably out there ice fishing now, and we're in a blizzard. Either way, those are solid sources of protein. Yes, you can definitely supplement with a protein shake. Like I said, amino acids are the foundational building blocks of muscle. So if you're training hard and you're triggering protein synthesis, you're going to want to get your protein in, right? I think so. Second, carbohydrates. We talked a little bit about carbohydrates earlier. Guys, the main sources of carbohydrates, like I said, they're a tool. So we talked about sweet potatoes, brown rice, regular potatoes, fruits, vegetables. Those are all great sources of carbohydrates. Now, depending on my goals, will determine what I want to use carbohydrates for. I'm primarily focused on performance because, yes, I am a professional lacrosse player, although I'm waiting on a call from the NLL. Guys, I'm waiting. I'm ready, but I'm still waiting. But you want to be ready to perform at any time. So carbohydrates are a tool for me because they help me recover faster post-workout. I've adapted well to a carbohydrate-based diet where I can easily ingest a majority of my carbohydrates post-workout, and I don't get any of that extra water retention or anything of that nature. So the peri-workout nutrition, the period around, before, during, and after your workout is when I ingest most of my carbohydrates because my main goals are to look good naked and performance. So I could essentially limit all carbohydrates and stay super lean throughout the year, but I've done that and I've found that my performance begins to decline. I get tired faster, my lactic acid builds up more, but you may be different. If you don't like carbohydrates or if you think you can thrive off of a diet with low carbohydrates, go for it. Track your progress. X equals 1. You are your only experiment. So test it out, guys. I just want to give you the knowledge to have so you can kind of understand and start thinking about this stuff. The third macronutrient is fats. We talked about some good examples. We got olive oil. We have coconut oil, ghee, or clarified butter. Those are my favorite. Big fan of guacamole. Don't get those chips near it, though, because I will finish an entire bag of chips with guacamole. Then I'll go to pretzels with guacamole, and I'll just eat all the snacks. Nom, 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 nom. But I don't recommend that. Guys, so like I said, depending on your goals, you're going to want to determine what your diet looks like. I don't want to take too much of your time, but hopefully this video gave you a quick and easy breakdown of what you should be consuming at each meal. Remember, proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. Pretty simple. From clean sources. The more closer to it is in its natural state, the better it is for you. Now don't have your cows mooing. Chop them up, butcher them up, and then eat them. But that's the healthier way to go. I'm going to be creating a couple other videos, more specifically about performance nutrition, about nutrition for leaning out. Let's say you got a pool party coming up and you're like, yo, Thrill, how do I get shredded? I need my ab game on point because the ladies are going to be there. And I'm single and I'm ready to mingle. Well, I'm going to have a video for you ready to go. We'll talk more specifically about foods that you can take and meals that you can actually make. And then I'll also talk about, this kind of goes hand in hand with performance nutrition, but I will also talk about gaining mass and the importance of having a calorie surplus when trying to gain mass. But remember, you gotta trigger protein synthesis. How do we do that? Through clanging and banging. Oh, girls all day. So those are a couple key points. Stay tuned because those videos are going to be coming out. But hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully it gave you a little knowledge of nutrition. And like I said, this is just the foundation. These are the basics. We're going to dive in much, 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 much deeper. If you like it, subscribe to my channel. Guys, the only way to trigger protein synthesis is through clanging and banging. I have several workout videos available on my YouTube channel. Check them out. Find out what you need to do to get like Thrill, all jacked up and fired up. So hopefully you guys liked it. Like this video. Comment below if you have any specific questions on nutrition, anything you're doing specifically. I'd be more than happy to help. I'm here for you. I appreciate you watching this video. I appreciate your support. Thanks, guys.